Hello and welcome to another episode of Fulham Chronicles. So sadly, Zara can't be with us today, but I'm of course not on my own. I'm here with two lovely guests who are Pat, if I can call you Pat, and Robert Barnett from Koji, just down the road. So you didn't have far to come, did you?
We didn't, no. We didn't. It was very easy.
Yeah, so welcome. Thank you so much for joining
Pleasure.
us.
Thank you for asking us.
Oh, no, that's really great. So we always say it's a cliche to start from the beginning, but I think obviously you have a lot of Fulham locals who come to you know Koji really, really well.
Yeah.
But other people who are probably new to the area and don't know. I think you're our first mother-son duo on the podcast, so that's fantastic.
We'll try not to fight.
No, exactly. No fighting.
We do.
No ticking him off.
No, it ticks me off.
So we just wanted to sort of have a chat and talk about the business. It's very much a family affair, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And talk about how it all began, which I think you grew up eating Szechuan food instead of bangers and mash, probably.
We never had Sunday roasts. We had Chinese Sunday. You know, my mum and dad had Mao Tai. When did you set it up? 1985.
1985. My husband Mark always loved food. He was amazing with food, very talented.
Self-proclaimed chef.
Yes, just a natural.
Yeah.
And he was desperate to open a restaurant.
Wow.
And so eventually we did.
And he didn't have any formal training. He just loved food.
The only thing he had was like an expense account where he went out and ate in different restaurants. So that gave him a bit of experience.
He's a natural. At the risk I would probably never say this to his face. He's very artistic and creative with food.
Okay.
That's where it stops. I think in other aspects, maybe not, but he's very talented.
Well, hey, you can't be good at everything.
Can't be good at everything.
No.
He's good like that.
Brilliant. So Mao Tai, and then I think it was, I do remember Mao Tai being a long-term Fulham resident myself. Was it 2015 then to Koji? Or?
Yeah, it was about that. I think, you know, Mao Tai from 1985 for about 30 years it operated for. Wow. And then I think what became sexy, what became fashionable changed. And, you know, we all talked about doing something different.
People wanted cleaner. Even we wanted to eat sort of healthier. And Japanese food was so healthy. And it's like Italian food. They have great ingredients, really fresh ingredients, and that are not touched too much. And whereas with the Szechuan, there was a lot of chili and
well, it became a little bit less fashionable, and there was a gap in the market, and I think we all had an interest for it. And I think you know when Mao Tai closed, I mean you agree that it was very sad, but it was an institution in its day.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of people were sad, but a lot of people didn't quite understand that it was going to the course of their time.
Yes,
running the course
it was
of
time
time.
to.
It's time for something new.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was remarkable what my mum and dad did to evolve, develop, and continue an Asian fusion restaurant for 30 years. Because over that 30 years, it completely evolved.
We started out very small on one side of in one building, and then we expanded into the building next door. And then we put in a cocktail bar and not knowing anything really about cocktails.
I love that cocktail bar.
Yeah.
It's such a cool space, and the cocktails just always phenomenal. I know, but you're quiet about what you do behind the scenes because you've been the glue probably for 30 plus years, haven't you? With everything, like with your husband now, probably I'm sure with your son as well helping.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, my husband wasn't that gracious sometimes, so I was always sort of like the
softer aspect,
the softer side, both with the clients and the employees, and so I carried that role on for a while until Robert got more involved.
Anything that looks good. The whole decor, the whole atmosphere, the whole lighting,
the design,
the whole aesthetic is all 100% my mum.
How it looks is me, and how our staff look is me. Apart from the waistcoats, actually, which Robert found. No, I did have waistcoats, but he found even nicer ones. So, and we discuss a lot together. But if I don't like it, I put my foot down in that respect.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then in terms of you and how you got involved, obviously, as you say, you're growing up eating in Mao Tai and all the food. And so you're into it and you can see your parents, what they're doing. But when was the first time you felt you kind of, I don't know, were allowed to step into the kitchen or get involved? Or how did that all happen?
Yeah.
Well, we grew up in it. My brother and I, we grew up in the restaurant.
They were both very good critics.
Well, it's because we grew up in a very sort of culinary focused household. I mean, we worked in every aspect of the restaurant. And if you talk about at what age, I don't know, very young, I realised I wanted to be involved in it.
Yeah, because it probably just happened from the get-go. And you just...
It was the only thing that was natural to me. There was nothing else that really, aside from when I was very young, I wanted to be a traffic warden because I thought I got to keep the cars.
Yes, he thought when he picked them up and put them on the back of the truck, you kept the cars.
Yeah. Up to the age of about 15, I used to think that.
Yes.
So, no. So that there was nothing else to me that felt natural and that I enjoyed than being in the restaurant, working in the restaurant. I liked it. I liked the people. I liked I didn't manage a team at that time, obviously, but I liked being around different types of people, different types of customers.
You made friends with everybody, didn't you? Yeah.
So,
but we didn't want him to join us.
Yeah.
We wanted both sons to find their own way. And then if they wanted to come back.
Yeah. So there was no pressure.
No.
No,
it was more pushing out.
Yeah, no, we don't want you. We don't want it in a nice way. But actually, the irony of that is, I think when I worked in the restaurant my whole life up until I went to uni, and when I went to uni, I came back and I was offered a job in real estate finance with someone that lived on the street. I was given a really good opportunity to work in that sector. Not that it really interests me that much, but I was fortunate to be offered that position. I remember speaking to my mum and dad and being like, I really want to work with you guys. I want to be involved in the business and we'll do this. And it was a firm no, you've got to go do your own thing. And if and only if later down the line you want to be involved, then come back to me in 8 years, 5 years, we'll talk. Yeah. And then I think I'd run my course with what I was doing. And I worked for a phenomenal man who actually lives in Fulham. I won't name his name because that will boost his ego. But the irony of it is everything I learned about the restaurant industry, everything I learned about food, about wine, about service, everything I learned from my mum and dad. Everything I learned about how to run a business to a degree, from debt accounting, margin, I learned from working in real estate finance. So as much as it wasn't quite the right fit for me, it was the best idea ever. It was a great thing to do because I was never going to be... It
was good exposure, good experience.
Yeah, massively so. And I would never been in a position at the age of 23 to run the business. Whereas when I came in at 29...
I'm not sure.
No, to 27, 28. That was it. It's been about 10 years now. Yeah, almost 10 years. Yeah. That was when I came in and it was, right, I can run the whole business rather than sort of grow into it. Yeah. Because I was ready. I knew the sort of baseline of the food and how to run the restaurant, but also how to run the financial side behind it.
Yeah, and also, I guess doing something different as well. As you say, it brings other skills, other tools into all of that, which is fantastic.
But he's really good about creating a team. We have an amazing team now. Yeah. And I would reckon it's down to you because I don't think we've ever had a team this good before.
I like running a team.
No, they're wonderful and it just works so well. It's very harmonious and they're hardworking and they're happy and that's great.
That's what you really want, isn't it? You really want happy staff.
Yes. Well, we've always tried and I've always tried, but Robert's excelled.
So also, you're Fulham resident as well.
Yes.
And you, I guess, are born and raised.
Yeah, I lived in 2 houses my whole life, and they were both next door to each other. I was born into 22 Doria Road, and then lived in 20 Doria Road after 2 years, and then moved out of home. So only as a family, only ever lived in.
And then you did move back to the flat. New Kings Road for a little
bit. I moved out as quick as possible. I was out of there.
They always come back.
No, they came back pregnant.
They came back.
They came back pregnant and had a baby in the flat.
Yeah, we moved back when my wife got pregnant, and then we were doing works to our house, and so we actually had our first child living with my mum and dad, which was interesting.
It was wonderful. Yeah. I wasn't ready to be a grandmother, but actually it was fantastic.
We were doing works to our flat, and we kind of overcooked how long it might have taken. And so, it was fortunate. I mean, my dad and I didn't speak for about several months after that.
True, he definitely wasn't ready to be a grandfather at all. But actually, I'm a nonna and he's a nonna. We're not.
They were very kind to let us in.
That's the Italian name for.
Yeah, so credit to my wife for moving in with her in-laws.
Yes, she's
credit
to
mum and dad as well that she was prepared to do that.
Yeah. No, we were very lucky to be able to do that.
That's so good. And then I just found out earlier that you, as well as having taken on the reins fully with Koji, obviously I know you're still involved. His dad's still
yes,
involved.
no,
very
he's
much so,
very
yeah.
Still
much
very
with the
much
food.
We make all decisions together.
Yeah, we
You know,
do. Yeah.
They've got 40 years of experience. Yeah. I would be an
He's
idiot
more
if
on
I-
the floor and doing more and running the team and
I run the business
customers.
on a day-to-day basis,
Yeah.
and they do a lot of back of house. Like I said, my mum does a lot of the decor and the marketing aspect and the image of the restaurant.
customer relations.
Yes.
Relations, yeah. 'Cause me and my dad don't quite have that soft touch that my mum does. But my dad, as I was saying earlier, he's very creative and artistic with menu design. As much as he's taught me a lot, and I like to think I'm reasonably good at it, he will I like to think till the day he topples over, he will consult on food development because he does. He's very
And
very
it's
inventive.
something we all, you know, try it together and select it between us. If he comes up with an idea and we really hate it, we just go, oh.
We tell him, no, absolutely, that is not making the menu, Dad.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
and you're juggling a very young family, I've just found out. A 3-year-old and twins.
1.5-year-old twins, yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, it's full on.
You just have a little help from.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah,
Super.
Well, it's interesting when my fondest memories or oldest memories of was our nannies were the chefs almost. The floor staff.
Yes.
So I take my kids into work. Well, less the twins now, but Ralph into work, and there's 21 members of staff there. There's 21 nannies there, which is quite nice. And we're very lucky.
They all love it.
Pat, in terms of you've obviously been a resident for a long time, and what do you think in terms of how the area has changed, good and bad? And we don't necessarily have to wear rose-tinted glasses.
No.
And how is the business kind of?
I loved Parsons Green when I first got here. I mean, I'd lived in central London all the time, and when I arrived here, it was like a village. I thought I was in the countryside. But I quickly made friends with all the people, because Mark was already living here in St. Diana's Road.
Okay.
And I quickly made friends with everybody, and they were really nice, lovely, kind, wonderful people. And that changed.
Artistic.
Yeah, and that there was a lot of naughty people and but very nice and friendly. And it changed because they sold or they died, and a lot of new people came in, and it was very, 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 very English in a way. But then a lot of international people came in, which I find fabulous. I really love a mix. And the children, I made sure they went to a school in Sloane Square where they would meet lots of other people, because I didn't want them to be just in an English, total English environment. And I wanted them to be, know people from other countries and things like that. So, and I loved it when Parsons Green became more international, which it still is.
It still is. And I think
it's a lovely mix.
And
really
I think it still
lovely.
does have that community vibe.
Oh, it has a
doesn't it?
real community vibe. It has a lovely villagey feeling. We've got some new vicars at the St. Diana's Church who are wonderful, and they're really working with the community to make it better.
Yeah, exactly.
Improve.
Which is brilliant.
Yeah.
And then in terms of Koji, obviously, sort of you've done like 10 years and a bit now. What's on the radar for new things? As you say, you're always developing the menu, but is there anything you've got in mind, any aspirations for the brand, the restaurant, for want of a better word?
This is Robert's. Robert's taking it forward.
I'm out raising at the moment to set up a Koji 2 in Marylebone.
Fantastic. Another village.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
Yes, another village.
Well, we're a neighbourhood style restaurant, a West End style restaurant in a neighbourhood area. And so it's about, if we went to someone like Mayfair, we'd be lost because it's more transactional, less personal, not independent, So we're trying to target areas. What is Parsons Green? Parsons Green is an affluent neighborhood that can support a sort of our style of restaurant, a sort of fun fine dining Japanese concept. So it's about finding other sites like that, and Marylebone is everything in that respect. Fun, dynamic, international, cool. And what's great is all the landlords there, Portman Estate, Howard Alding Estate, and the private landlords, they've created a community there.
They really care about it.
They don't allow sort of big corporations in there that can
take
pay
it
high
over.
rents, but because it ruins the sort of independent vibe about it. So we're looking at doing that. I've just launched a new private events element to Koji, so we've started doing that. We did
master
a big
classes.
Yeah. We did a private event in Holland Park for 250 people, which went really well. We built a sushi bar there, and had the 2 chefs, and we just did platters and platters of nigiri and maki and things like that.
Also Glastonbury.
We went to Glastonbury at Camp Kerala. It's a sort of boutique camping site, so we did a day there, which was so much fun. The owners are such good fun, very good customers of ours, and they're just very kooky, lovely,
but those are the
lovely
best relationships,
people. Absolutely,
aren't they?
yeah.
Like when you have
Well, they're a
customers,
family too.
They're a family, exactly,
and so
yeah.
we were quite.
There's a lot of synergy there. And it's also just working with people that you like.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't have done it with anyone else that wasn't them. Bert, who's the son, and the sisters as well. They're just such lovely people, and they really get, you really feel that family style. So yeah, that's moving in a direction, and we're just trying to do more and more and grow it, I suppose.
So just build more of the event side,
private event side, and Koji 2, and then hopefully Koji 3, and we'll go from there.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Someone's going to look after my kids.
And I never, again, as I say, I don't like to have the rose-tinted glasses on, but I do know it's been an incredibly tough time for a lot of businesses. Obviously, we all know because we hear about it every day in the news about hospitality. I know
it's very hard for us.
It is really hard right now, and I know
a
a lot
of
of
businesses.
and a lot of local businesses, exactly, and other businesses who are our members are finding it tough because I guess it's just been a catalogue of things, hasn't it? So it just seems to have been one thing after the other.
Well, the economy's not so hot, and access to Little Parsons Green has been hard and restricted. Yes, that was the word. Sorry, restricted, and so that hasn't been easy. Although hopefully a new app is coming through to help. We're not that affected by it, but a lot of the other businesses are very much affected by it.
But I'm sure in the 40 years you would have weathered, this is what I always think, like I'm a very here and now person, so we're looking at what's happening now, but and people talk about next generation and the things that they're struggling with, me maybe with my daughters or whatever, employment, but you must have weathered other storms before.
Oh, we have. Oh God, so many. I would say
three
financial crashes for sure, really, and it's been horrible, but we've survived them. And
which goes back to that point of 30 years, to have Mao Tai for 30 years over 2 to 3 different financial crises is quite an achievement. I don't think there is, aside of Mr. Chow's, which is in Knightsbridge, I think there's no other sort of fine dining Chinese restaurant except for Mao Tai.
It is hard.
That had weathered last time. It's quite,
with it being a local area, there's no tourism. There's no businesses really. We used to have recording studios. There was quite a lot of music studios and famous people. So they used to come for lunch, and that was quite a thing. But then they all left the area, and nothing replaced them. And so our sort of audience has got less and less and less, and that's hard. That's why we're also interested in Marylebone, because it's got tourism, it's got businesses,
offices,
and
supports that high rent.
If our local community is hit by bad economy, tax on schools, tax on houses, it's hard for them.
So it's also costs. I think the only saving grace is I think the general public are far more knowledgeable and aware of margins and costs for hospitality now, which makes it, even though we've had to increase our pricing and stuff to reflect the cost, people understand it better. Whereas 5 years ago, pre-COVID, they didn't. Even costs have gone up 30% across the board in the last 3 years.
Well, we had COVID, we had Brexit, and we had the wars. And
no, I think you're absolutely right on that. I remember speaking to an owner of a local Thai restaurant in Fulham, and he said, Melinda, I have customers who've come for 15 years, and they go, why is the price it can't be the same as it was when you first came 15 years ago. But I think you're right. I think That is a good thing about people talking about it more.
People's awareness is definitely which is good. And
we've really tried to keep it down and hold on to them, haven't we?
Yeah, and I think actually we did. And,
we did for a long
actually
time.
that impacted the profitability of the business. You know, when I went out and started raising, when I started to look at growing the business, it was in a time where I didn't put prices up. I didn't put prices up because I was worried about what the market could bear. And then after a year, when you looked at the performance was dropping from what it was the previous years. And I was going out trying to ask people to invest. And they're like, but things have gone down. So then we corrected prices and it hasn't impacted the amount of people coming because
they're used to it. Everyone else had done it and we hadn't because we're in a neighbourhood. We didn't really want to do that to our lovely guests and everything, you know. And so we really held back. But I think they got used to it anyway, didn't they?
And I
by
think
other places.
It wasn't in any shape or form unreasonable.
Drastic.
It was normal. And actually, I had to say 98% of people didn't notice because it was reflective of the current time.
Yeah.
And you've just seen now, you know, talking to some investors I've got that, you know, the performance of the restaurant is moving back up in the right direction because we've adjusted it to what the market trends are. So we're getting there.
Hang on in there. Yeah. So we always have, although of course I've asked you lots of questions today, but we always have a little kind of on the spot question, and although Zara is sadly not here with us, one of her questions was actually for you, Robert, was what is your favourite item off the menu? A cocktail, and say if you had to go for a starter and main, what would be like if you just had to? I know it's hard because you've got fabulous. It's easy. I could answer that. Is it? Okay.
Vodka martini, dry with a twist, ceviche pescado, which is a blend of our freshest whitefish, turbot, sea bass, sea bream, in a ceviche style dressing. So kind of Japanese methods with Peruvian flavors. And for the main, I mean, our style of restaurant, it's kind of family style, it's tapasy, so it's less sort of a starter and main. But I suppose for the main, I like fish a lot. You know, I really do. I like sort of clean, refreshing style sort of fish. So a lot of sashimi, things like that. Yellowtail wasabi salsa that we do. In terms of cooked food, you know, our pork belly is a massive hit. Because the amount of times that we run it through a cooking process, different levels of cooking. Wow. But I think, you know, the whole roasted sea bass we do is
fabulous.
You know, we need to find a big enough plate to put it on. So that's good. But yeah, I think, and then with wine, you know, wine's a big passion of mine. And that's something that...
He's amazing.
I've seen on your socials you've been doing that.
Yeah, a little bit. And I think it's nice to start doing that because we do have quite a vast, expansive list. And there's a lot of restaurants. I like going out when I can, but it's laziness when restaurants don't have good wine lists because it takes a lot of effort to create a reasonably good list. It's very easy to buy good wine. Any fool can do that, but it's hard to create a good value wine list. And if restaurants don't have that, that's because they're not putting the effort in to do it.
And he certainly puts the effort in.
And I put the effort in. It takes time. Yeah, it really does. It does take time. And
we've never had a wine list this good, I have to say. What? Mark, he was always, he chose the wine. He was good, but he's so much better.
So we do, you know, we have a lot of sort of, we have a large variety of wines that we choose.
So do you have wines as well, which are, because that's what I'm not really good about wine and I'm not a wine snob at all. But do you have wine? So when you come, I'm ashamed to say I haven't been in recently, so I need to correct that. But if you look at the menu, sometimes you go in and you go, oh my gosh, there's only the cheapest bottle of wine is like £80. Or do you have like a good, nice range of people?
We do. We have
so if somebody just wanted to come in and have a bottle and a few rather than a big lengthy kind of
sure.
From you know, about 5 years ago, our most inexpensive bottle was £33. Right now, it's £40, £39, £40, because that's how inflation and pricing go up. We have wines ranging from £40 to £1,000, you know. But we have a lot. The niche point is £40 to £60, which a lot of people might say it's a lot of money spending over £50 for a bottle of wine. But unfortunately, that is the market. Yeah. The 40 to 50 is the hardest bandwidth to find good value, and that's the most exciting, that's the most enjoyable part for me, because
it's a challenge.
hard. It's a challenge.
And he does it really well, and he really puts a lot of time and effort into it, and we have very good wines available in that price point.
And the only way you can do it, and I don't believe that every restaurant can do this, because again, you need someone specifically doing it quite a lot of the time. I've got about 20 to 24 different wine suppliers. So from that, you can cherry pick different things, and some restaurants don't have the flexibility of that, so they are limited in, if they're working with 3 suppliers, they're limited in what the suppliers can offer. But it's that 40 to 50 pound mark is we do have a range of good affordable wines. But then it's kind of funny to say affordable, because 50 quid is a lot of money. So I don't want to sound sorry. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But unfortunately, that's the London market. It's insane. It's hard, but yeah.
Okay.
That's the fun part.
Yeah, it is a fun part. Well, everyone likes a challenge. Obviously, you do. So, and my question is to you, Matt. So, it doesn't have to be here in the UK. We had my brother-in-law and I had this conversation a while back over a lovely meal somewhere in Fulham, and sort of we actually reminisced about amazing meals, and it wasn't just like in London. It could be where you were or who you were with. I just wonder, what is your most memorable kind of meal, and where were you? Describe it to us.
I can't remember.
That is a bit of a harder question.
It is really hard. I've had many memorable meals. Italy. I mean, for me, being on a beach with amazing food, seafood, and sunshine, which I have done in Italy and in Spain and in Greece. Those are my favourite meals, just because of the atmosphere and everything. But a favourite meal? No, I don't really have one, actually. I just love food. I love food, and I love so many places. And like you say, it's really who you're with. It's just the time. And
the experience.
And my brain's gone. I can't remember anything.
No, don't be silly. If you wanted to go out for a meal and it wasn't at Koji, then where would you go? Do you have a favourite spot outside of your own family business that you would go to regularly, or no, or you just
that's a hard question.
Or do you know what? It's at the flat, and it's baked beans on toast. We're done.
No.
Spiller, don't you?
Yes. No, I love Lebanese food. I love it. I love the people. I love the country. It's wonderful. And and we have a restaurant we go to called Ishbilia, which is near Harvey Nichols. And the food's always so fresh and wonderful, and they're lovely.
Family
they're
owned.
a family business.
Yeah. So the son owns and runs it. He's on.
And the father's in the kitchen.
The father's in the kitchen, And the son's
really similar.
So
nice people.
We love going there. Yeah.
I think that really makes all the difference, and I think that's what you feel very, very strongly that Koji is all about. That obviously the food speaks for itself. It's that fine dining, beautiful kind of clean taste, but it's also, I think, the atmosphere of when you walk in, not only with all the fabulous interiors that you've done and worked on, which I know is not easy at times. It's hard to get all that right and pull it all together as one kind of overall vision. But it's, as you say, the team, isn't it? It's the atmosphere. It's it's all those things.
We're very lucky with our team. Our team is a reflection of us, and we're there a lot of the time. But there's sometimes you can't be there, and you have to be able to trust them to be a positive reflection of what you are. And we have that. We have that, and that's taking time to build, but we have that. There's not a single person that works in Koji that I wouldn't want there to be there. We're very lucky like that. Yeah, they're a good team.
But that's fantastic that you can feel that you don't have to be all the time, because you can trust that team.
But you do have to be there.
But you do have to be. But also we want to. I mean, we love it. I love being there. I love being there. I was there last Friday night, and there were so many people came in that I knew. I mean, some of our guests are friends. You know what I mean? Like you say, we've known them for years and years and years, and it's like, oh yeah, hi, and catching up with people. It's just lovely.
It's just like hosting a fabulous party.
Yes, it really.
One you don't have to cook for. Which
is cooking has never been my my forte. No.
But that's okay. Look,
of course it is.
You married the right man.
Of course. I come home sometimes and Mark says to me, "What would you like?" And sometimes I don't want to go and sit in the restaurant. I like to be at home sometimes and relax. I said, can we have a takeaway, please?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And how many people have you got in the team right now? How many staff do you have?
We fluctuate from about 19 to 21. I think we have 19 full-time, 2 part-time. Well, what's nice about Koji is the 2 part-time, they're always friends of customers. No, it's not friends of customers. Children
of customers.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So experience.
Yeah, it's nice because it's nice to give them the opportunity.
Because it is a bit of a way of life, isn't it? I mean, it's
Oh,
quite
yes, it is. It's not an easy
And they're
industry,
usually such lovely young men and women.
Yeah.
We're very lucky with how lovely our customers are. And obviously their children who tend to work in Koji,
Are also
they're the
lovely.
same. So
Yeah.
it's never been an issue.
No, that's fantastic. And have you got a long-running member of staff who's been there a while, or any stories about
Rolly, the head chef?
Yes.
He's 10
the
years.
our head chef. Yeah, more than 10 years.
Or over
that's
10
right.
years.
Yeah.
Over 10 years,
Yeah, we at the beginning, yeah.
We had a manager that was a commie waiter in Mao Tai who became a manager in Koji in the early years.
Wow.
So he was there for 10 years, but he started as a commie waiter.
So
And he went off.
progression of staff, which is really
and then he moved
He
away.
went off to do his own business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean, we're friends with all our old staff. I mean, when we have a Koji Christmas party, we invite people that worked for us in the past.
So
that
they
don't
still come back in.
Yes.
That's so great.
No, we always stay. We're friends with everyone. Really.
Mostly,
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for coming in today. I
Pleasure.
really
Thank you for
appreciate
inviting
it.
us.
Oh, gosh, our pleasure. I'm sorry Zara wasn't here, but we'll introduce you another time.
Yeah.
And so I'll wrap things up and say, yes, thank you so much. And thank you to Blueprint Studios for hosting us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's a great studio.
It's such a gorgeous space.
Commons, a lovely space.
It is a
Wonderful.
really lovely space,
Very cool.
and you
Really
haven't
lovely.
got far to go. So
No,
No,
and thank you, Fulham FC.
yes, absolutely. And our sponsors, Fulham FC Foundation, without whom this podcast would not be possible. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.